whether it was not your responsibility as NORAD to protect the United States and its citizens against air attack.
It is, and it was, and I would just caveat your comment by saying that our mission was, at that time, not designed to take internal FAA radar data to track or to identify tracks originating within our borders. It was to look outward as a Cold War vestige, primarily developed during the Cold War to protect against Soviet long-range bomber penetration of our intercept zone.
Well, I think, sir, you have used a good term, not good for the United States, but accurate in terms of the vestigial mandate operationally to look outward toward the borders rather than inward. And by vestigial, you mean, I'm sure, as a result of our decades of confrontation with the former Soviet Union.
Correct, sir.
And so on the day of September 11th, if you can see these dots, I know it may be difficult to see, NORAD was positioned in a perimeter around the United States, but nothing in the central region, nothing on the border with Canada.
That's correct, sir.
Now, let me ask you, sir, whether the concept of terrorists using an airplane as a weapon was something unknown to the intelligence community on September 10th, 2001.
Very good question, and I asked.
Thank you.
I asked our staff to provide me some data on what they had that morning. As I said, General Arnold was at the helm that morning. But basically, the comments I received from my staff was that there was no intelligence indication at any level within NORAD or DOD of a terrorist threat to commercial aviation prior to the attacks. And information from the daily Joint Chiefs Intelligence Report on the morning of September 11th indicated no specific dangers or threats within the country.
According to the FBI, much of what took place on September 11, 2001 originated during the mid-1990s, when presumed hijacker pilots Mohammed Atta, Marwan al-Shehi, and Ziad Jarrah moved to Germany, eventually settling in Hamburg, and began to associate with Islamic extremists. An FBI agent asserted in a joint inquiry interview that the three future hijackers were not radicals when they came to Germany, but became so during their time there. While in Hamburg, Atta, al-Shehi, and Jarrah attended the Al-Quds Mosque, where they met a group of radical Islamists, including Mohammed Haydar Zamar, Marmoun Darkanzali, Zakaria Esabar, Ramzi bin al-Shib, Saeed Bahaji, and Munir Montasadek. The hijackers prayed, worked, lived, socialized, and attended university classes with this group, which had become known as the Hamburg Cell. Zamar and Darkanzali were known to U.S. intelligence before September 11th. Zamar was born in Syria in 1961, moved to Germany, and obtained German citizenship. According to an FBI summary of its September 11th investigation, Zamar is believed to have recruited Atta, al-Shehi, and Jarrah into al-Qaeda and encouraged their participation in the September 11th attacks. Darkanzali is a Syrian national, born in 1958. He entered Germany in 1983 and became a naturalized German citizen in 1990, though he retained his Syrian citizenship. While Darkanzali's relationship to the future hijackers is less clear, he's a close associate of Zamar. According to the FBI, Ramzi bin al-Shib and Essaya Esabar were to have participated in the conspiracies that carried out the September 11 attacks. A martyrdom video was discovered in Ramzi bin al-Shib's possessions in Afghanistan and reportedly discovered information about flight training on Esabar's computer. However, neither were able to obtain a U.S. entry visa. Before the attacks, bin al-Shib and Bahaji left for Pakistan, where bin al-Shib was eventually captured. Mossadegh lived with Atta and signed his will, and also had power of attorney for al-Shehi. He is being held in Germany on charges relating to September 11th. After September 11th, the FBI discovered that Darkanzali traveled to Spain in the summer of 2001 at approximately the same time that Mohammed Atta was there. It is possible that Darkanzali and Atta met with Yarkis, who may have had advanced knowledge of the September 11th attacks. Spanish authorities intercepted a call to Yarkis on August 27, 2001. in which he was told, "We have entered the field of aviation, and we have even slit the throat of the bird." Barakat Yarkas was known to authorities and was arrested by the Spanish on November 13, 2001. He has also met at least twice with Osama bin Laden. A Spanish indictment alleges that he had contacts with Mohammed Atta and Ramzi bin al-Shibh. According to CIA documents, the U.S. Intelligence Committee first became aware of Darkhanzali in 1993 when a person arrested in Africa carrying false passports and counterfeit money was found with Darkhanzali's telephone number. CIA report notes that despite being careful scrutiny of Darkhanzali and his business dealings, authorities were not able to make a case against him. The FBI became interested in Darkhanzali in 1998 after the arrest of Wadi al-Hajj and Abu Hajir, operatives in Osama bin Laden's network. According to the FBI documents, Darkhanzali's fax and telephone numbers were listed in Wadi al-Hajj's address book. Al-Hajj has been convicted for his role in the 1998 embassy bombings and is also in U.S. custody. The FBI also discovered that Darkhanzali had power of attorney over a bank account belonging to Abu Hajir, a high-ranking al-Qaeda member who served on its Shura Council. Hajir is also currently in U.S. custody. Mohammed Haydar Zamar had come to the CIA and FBI's attention on numerous occasions before the September 11 attacks. CIA documents refer to Zamar as an Islamic extremist and note that his name had turned up in possession of several extremists questioned or detained. Of particular importance, in mid-1999, Zamar was in direct contact with one of bin Laden's senior operational coordinates. In March of 1999, CIA received intelligence about a person named Marwan, who had been in contact with Zamar and Darkhanzali. Marwan was described as a student who had been spending time in Germany. The CIA speculated at this time that this was a bin Laden associate who lived in the United Arab Emirates, but now believes that Marwan was Marwan al-Shehi, one of the presumed hijacker pilots. After September 11th, the FBI received information about additional connections before the attacks between Zamar and persons who participated directly in the attacks. Considerable pressure was placed on foreign authorities in the years leading up to the September 11 attacks to target Darkhanzali, Zamar, and other radicals. A senior U.S. government officer told the Joint Inquiry that significant information concerning al-Qaeda members had been shared with foreign authorities, but that it became apparent only after September 11, 2001, that the foreign authorities had been watching some of those persons before that date. The Joint Inquiry reviewed numerous documents describing efforts to pressure Germany and its authorities to act. In the end, these efforts were largely unsuccessful. In most cases, they did not take action that were suggested. Significant legal barriers restricted Germany's ability to target Islamic fundamentalism. Before September 11th, it was not illegal in Germany to be a member of a foreign terrorist organization, to raise funds for terrorists, or plan a terrorist act outside German territory. This law has since been changed. A legal privilege also dramatically restricted the government's ability to investigate religious groups. In fact, due to the difficulty in investigating terrorist cases, the German government would often attempt to investigate terrorist subjects for money laundering. Unfortunately, laundering laws were difficult to enforce. For example, over the past several years, out of the 300 to 400 money laundering investigations, only one person has been convicted. The German government apparently did not consider Islamic groups a threat and were unwilling to devote significant investigative resources to target them. U.S. efforts also provide a window into CIA and FBI coordination and information sharing. Both agencies were interested in radical Islamists. However, on several occasions, the FBI and CIA unknowingly operated against the same targets. The FBI legal attaché in Germany did not recall getting information about Marwan Darkhanzali and Mohammed Haydar Zamar from the German government or the CIA before September 11th. He was unaware that Darkhanzali and Zamar had been the subject of government investigations before the